The following program is paid for by EG Tax. All opinions or statements expressed on this program are solely those of EG Tax or its guests and do not reflect the opinions of News Radio 930 WBEN or Odyssey.
The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930, toll free at 1-800-616-9236, and cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey everybody, this is the Tax Lady, and this is our hour to talk taxes. And we're hoping you're having a wonderful spring into summer time. It's so wonderful to be seeing people enjoy themselves, going and have hot dogs and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm Esther Gulius, the Tax Lady. We're going to keep you abreast of what's happening in the wonderful world of taxes. What's coming down the pike, some of the things you might have heard in the media, and we want to invite you to give us a call if you have any questions. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. And of course, I got my buddies in studio with me, Christopher Fabian. Hey, Chris.
Hello, Esther.
Hello, Christopher, and Tiffany Fabian.
Hey, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you guys. So, what's cooking?
Rain.
I know. Well, what can you do?
Rain
I
and
know.
more rain.
Gracie wanted to go strawberry picking today, but that
It's
got
raining.
shut down. Yeah. So and then I think Chris wanted to do something with a rototiller, right?
Yeah.
And that got
See, Chris, saved by the rain,
There you go.
right?
that got
All right,
mixed.
so we have that seminar coming up. We want to make sure we let everybody know about that. Kind of our inflation busting seminar. If you're on the, and we all are, if you have to go grocery shopping, you know what it's like.
Sort of like being
So
on a
we're having
diet.
a seminar to help you with your finances, your budget, things that you might want to do. We're going to have attorneys in there to talk about making a negotiation with your creditors, potential bankruptcies. We want to help you. So if you go to our website at egtax.com and you can register, right?
Right.
And it's
right.
free, of course.
Yep, October 5th at our office on Delaware Avenue by
And that's
Sheridan.
coming up fast. I mean, we're in the last week of June. Where has the year gone?
Right, halfway done. That means, you got a half a year left to make your corrections so a bad tax year doesn't happen again to you.
Absolutely. And of course, anybody getting letters, if you're getting letters from the IRS, state of New York, don't just pay them. You want to make sure that you have us take a look at them, because many times it's only partially correct, if correct at all. And so we will help you. So you can call us at our corporate headquarters. You can go to our website at egtax.com.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and then the seminar. Chris, did you want to add anything about the seminar? So it's just
And tax school too, right?
Yeah, tax school's coming up starting in October. Learn A to Z from taxes, and you get a great understanding. And if you want a job, that's even better for us because we want to hire you.
Right, right, absolutely. So, okay, do you notice anything in the media that you hear about how financial people are talking about how to make sure that you have a tax-friendly retirement?
last night I was doing somebody's tax return, and she's like, she's about my age, and her husband's a lawyer, and she works at a college. She's like, I'm going to make an appointment because I want to convert things to Roth, and so I just want a tax plan with you.
And that's exactly what I want to
That's what
talk
she
about.
asked about.
It makes me crazy when I hear financial people say, and we're going to help you to do a retirement so you don't have to pay taxes. What does that really mean? I mean, when you really know taxes, you know what that means.
Right. You don't pay taxes later when you take it out, but you have to pay all the taxes now.
Right. In other words, what they'll do is they'll many times say, let's do a conversion from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. Now, maybe that's the best thing for you, but maybe it's the worst thing for you because it isn't as easy as that. And a lot of times, financial people will say, you don't want to pay taxes later on. Well, if you really unpeeled the onion, you'd find out that many, if not most people, are not paying taxes anyway, or they're only paying a little bit. And so if they do this conversion, what happens to your taxes right now?
Well, for instance, this couple, not too young, but middle age, they're at the highest tax bracket right now. You want to
Right,
take it?
and so what would that mean?
That means-
so let's say you have $500,000 in your traditional IRA, and you think, I don't want to pay taxes later. So what do you pay right now? In this case, they'd pay like almost 50%, wouldn't they?
Between the federal and the state.
state.
Yep.
So right now you'd pay 50%. So
That's a lot.
okay, great.
That's a lot of money.
Wow, I got myself all excited.
Yeah,
My
but
saliva
you know
caught me in the throat.
here's the
But-
best news: their beneficiaries are going to get it tax free, and that's
Yay.
what the brokers will tell them. You know, it's a good thing for your beneficiaries. Well,
Right, but it's not so hot for you.
right, because you have to, like you said, this 500,000 at 50%. That means you have to come up with $250,000 when you pay your taxes next
Right.
year.
And so, it's not so easy. And your particular situation should be assessed individually. So, like, for instance, I have an example of somebody that's 60 years old and they think they want to roll over their traditional to a Roth. So, and if they have $500,000 at 40%, because they got New York State and federal, they're going to pay $20,000 in taxes now. So what happens to their
200,000.
500,000, right? 200,000.
Yeah.
200,000.
Right.
off
That
of
that means
500
that 500 basically becomes
is
300.
300,000. Right.
Yep.
So you've lost $200,000 of future growth.
Wow.
Right?
When you
So
put
that
it
you don't
that
have to
way.
pay taxes later. So that means that you would lose $106,000 in growth plus your $200,000 in taxes. So you're now $306,000 behind the eight ball. It would take 10 years to equal the tax savings. But the truth is, you don't have to start withdrawing that money till you're 73. So that's even longer.
Yep. Yep.
And so let's project out all the way to 73, and let's say that this taxpayer is doing the required minimum distribution, okay? And with the required minimum distribution and his Social Security or her Social Security, they would end up paying, after their standard deduction, and this is what everybody forgets about, they'd pay $150 in taxes. So they're willing to pay $200,000 up front at age 60, and at 73, if they didn't do it, they would pay $150 in taxes using the present tax code. And that's what's really important. It is just because when you're 73 you don't want to pay taxes. Of course you don't want to pay taxes, but you have to look at the tax benefit now,
Yeah.
or
And-
tax
And
pay
for
now.
instance, this couple, one of them is going to get a nice, sizable New York State pension, so that makes their taxable income a little bit higher.
Well, that would change everything.
It would.
And then the other thing is we have to understand that at 73, the required minimum distribution is like 1/26th of what you have in there, so it's not a lot of money. But I know we all think we're all going to live forever, but the longevity, the expected longevity for a male is 73.5 years. So
Right.
at 73, you're taking your RMD. Your expected longevity is only 73.5. Right?
Well,
Yep,
that's
yep.
cheery.
I mean, I wish it. Yeah, I wish we all lived forever, but we don't. I mean, there's a definite problem there coming down the pike.
100%.
So
All the
anyway,
time.
Just wanted to point that out. I'm Esther Gilius, the tax lady, 8030930. 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. We want to hear from you. Give us a jingle, a text. We want to help you. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back on the other side. Hey, to us, you are family, and I want you to know that when you're having your hot dog at the barbecue and people are talking about stuff tax-related, you can Google us, right? Well, yeah, I guess it's not Google. What would you call it? You can text us, right? Right, Dad?
You could
You
email
go
us
to our
questions.
website. It's through
Yep.
your cell phone, and you can ask us a tax. We'll answer you right back.
Right. And one thing before, I know we got a couple callers on hold now. Going back to the converting of the Roth, say this person did $500,000. A couple other things that's impacted in their life would be the loss of the senior star for a year. That could be an extra
That's true
$1,000.
because of the conversion.
Right.
It would cost them a lot of
A
money.
loss of
And
maybe
he'd pay
Epic.
extra on his health insurance.
Right.
Right.
And his Medicare would be about, if they're a couple, they both would pay about an extra $550 a month for their Medicare. So that's another $1,100 a month, times that by 12. That's
$13,200.
right. So you really got to look
It
at,
really isn't. It just drives me crazy when I hear these commercials on. Yet they don't want to pay taxes when you're retired. And the other thing is, in this example that I don't even cover, is on that $500,000 traditional IRA, you got a big tax benefit when you contributed.
right.
I don't even consider that
Right.
in this example,
yeah.
because you saved money when you did the traditional IRA. As a matter of fact, the change in the tax law this year was for higher income people that are doing catch-up provisions. They won't let you do a traditional anymore. It's got to be Roth.
Yep. Your catch-up 401k's got to go in a Roth 401k.
Which is kind of a clue, isn't it?
It is.
Because they really would like you. They want your money.
And the thing is, what's happening at the end of this year?
The Trump tax provisions are going away.
Oh, I know.
Right.
And I had a client this morning that called me and said, they're from South Carolina. My friend was listening to a podcast, and they called me and said, "Do you know what Biden wants to do?" And I said, "Yeah, I know what he wants to do, but we don't know if he's going to do it." "Well, Esther, you have to do something." "Well, I can't do anything."
And the thing,
I can't do a thing but complain.
and the thing is, we all know politicians. I don't care if you're on the left or the right. They talk out of one side of their mouth. What's going to make them sound great
Better.
to get the vote, right? Right now, Biden's saying, we're going to tax the rich. We're going to tax the rich. Well, you know what? They're going to tax everybody. And,
and
it's the
because one of their-
trickle-down effect.
And one of their provisions, of course, is to eliminate, first of all, to eliminate the stepped-up basis. That affects everybody.
Huge.
Yep.
If they eliminate the stepped-up basis on an inheritance, that's one. And then the other is the exclusion on a 1031 exchange. It would be a maximum $500,000. So we keep abreast of this stuff, and we will certainly let you know when it happens. All right, we got some texts and phone calls, and
We'll
all
go
that
to
stuff.
Mike first in West Seneca.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing, Esther? I still got a couple of years I got to get in.
Mike, you want us to come out and take care of it for you?
Good luck on finding all the paperwork.
But we
only
have an in with the IRS. We can get all your
but
paperwork.
if he needs his expenses,
Well, you just said you can't do anything about it when the gentleman told you got to do something.
But we can get your transcripts.
No, you can't. Well, maybe you can. Now, that's
We
the
can.
problem.
We can.
Even
we can.
online.
Call us, Mike. We will come
file-
out to your house.
wait, let Mike say what he's. What?
Yeah.
Sorry. What,
Okay,
Mike?
even online when I tried, file too big. Now, I know the only reason the file is too big is because of the brokerage account. There was a lot of times when I had hip and back problems where I really couldn't walk holding a cane with two hands. But there was a lot of trading, and that's probably what's making the file too big.
But Mike, do you have a relationship with that broker still?
Yeah, and I have everything from the broker. There's no problem there. But how do I get them to send out anything else? Because if I'm missing something, isn't that a problem if I file
Right,
a
but
tax and I'm missing something else?
if you call us, we will look at your transcript and see what we can do, and we certainly want to help you. I mean, we've been talking now for about a year. We want to help you, so just give us a
can't get
jingle.
the transcript.
Call us so that we can do this.
Well, I can't get the transcript. That's what they keep
No,
saying, and they
well,
were going to
but
send it out, but that's
Give
why
us
it never
give
got
us
sent
the
out.
opportunity to try to do it for you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Mike.
Okay,
Happy
thank you.
Happy 4th. Thank you.
It sounds like he's moving in a forward direction.
I know, and that's a happy thing.
Yeah. Really good thing.
All right, what else we got here?
We got Kurt from Kenmore.
Hey, Carrot.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How about you?
Good, thanks. I'm calling because I recently sold a double that I was living in Buffalo, and now I'm living in a single-family residence in Kenmore. And I'm just curious, what are the tax repercussions for that?
All right.
In
So
the case it's $100,000 more than I paid for it.
were you renting out half of the house,
Yes,
and you lived in the other half the entire time?
correct.
All right. So basically, it's a sale of two assets, right, Tiff, Chris?
Right, right. Your personal half, you said you only made $100,000 altogether, so you don't have to worry about the personal half. But the rental half, when did you buy that house?
About 5 years ago.
Okay, so not a lot of depreciation, about 1/5.
What did you pay for it when you originally bought it, Kurt?
$225,000.
All right. So it's basically half of it would have been depreciated. Okay. And so the depreciation maybe about 4,000 a year for
Well,
a
only
year?
half, so 115 times that by, or divide
That's
that
I
by,
think it's 4,000 a year.
yeah, so
So over 5 years, 4 years,
20,000.
Yep.
So plus a $50,000 gain, you're looking about $70,000 you're going to have to pay
Well,
tax.
is it a $50,000 gain collect total or half?
That would be half. He said he made 100,000.
Okay. Yeah, so 70,000. So at 20% maximum, it's maybe 14,000. But if your income is low enough, it'd be even lower.
So how much to the federal and the state?
Right, so 14,000 to the feds, and then let's not forget New York State.
Right.
So you're looking maybe another $4,000 to $5,000 for them to New York. So about 20,000 altogether.
That's just doing it quick over the radio. So you should give us a buzz.
And give us a call because we'll really hone in on what you did. But that would be, I think, worst case scenario, don't you think?
Yeah, and
Because you have to reduce it by as expensive sale.
Yeah, and so don't forget to increase your 401k contribution this year. If you have it, if you have a spouse, have them do the same.
Yeah, because that will help bring down your income, which
Right.
hopefully will reduce the capital gain tax rate.
But call us, Kurt. There's no charge, 632-7886, and we'll be very happy to go over your specifics.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that.
All right, thanks, Kurt.
It was
I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. We got a text here?
Yeah, and I just want to I hedge off of what Kurt said. It was a great time to sell real estate. We had Kathy on last week, and what a great time to take advantage of that. The only problem is finding a new place, but it sounds like Kurt did. The text says, Esther, would you recommend buying a house or keep renting with the high cost of interest rates? And this is Sunny.
Well, I mean, if you find the right deal, right, and it's got to be the right house that you can afford, and even though interest rates are high, I really do believe that with looking at the budget deficit that we're carrying in the United States, the pressure would be to reduce interest rates. So at some point in time here, interest rates are going to be lower. So then you refinance. The thing is that the game you have to play is, will the value of your house go down? You know, and that's something without a crystal ball. I don't think anybody knows, but I would say that if you think you found the best deal, it wouldn't bother me paying 6 or 7% for interest. I remember. This I'm going to date myself. 18% interest on mortgages.
Wow.
Yeah, I think mine and my wife's was 13% on our first house.
I mean, that's what. But you know, when you consider how much rents are, and they're basically like throwing them to the wind, your receipts to the wind. One of the beautiful things about a piece of real estate is the equity position and the special tax treatment that you have when you have a piece of real estate, personal residence. The first $500,000 is tax free if you're single. The first $250,000 is tax free if you're, married filing a joint return. At $250,000 if you're single. So, you know, real estate has preferential tax treatment in the IRS code.
Yeah, and then also I've been talking to a lot of renters. Their rents keep going up and up and up. What were you going to say? Chris?
And the thing is, you pay a rent check. Say you pay $1,000 a month. I know that's really cheap right now, but easy math. Over a year, that's $12,000. Over 3 years, that's $36,000. After 3 years, what do you have for it? Nothing. But putting $36,000 on a mortgage, you have that asset, and when you sell that asset, you're going to recoup that $36,000 plus some, hopefully.
And plus, it'll be
tax free. Right.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So
for sure.
I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. And so I think we're going to take a short break for the news, and we'll be back on the other side with your comments, questions, and texts. Hey, to us, you are family, and we want to help you. And so if you have a question on taxes or something you're going to do, sell something, buy something, there's no charge for you to give us a call. We certainly want to help, and you can go to our website, Ask the Tax Lady, and those questions come right to me, and I will answer them jolly on the spot. You know. So anyway, want to talk about, before we get to our text and phone calls, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, by the way. Text 716-8030930. The FenCen, BOI FenCen, that's a big deal, and our sale is kind of running out here pretty soon, right?
Right. You got to call us. I know July 1st is Monday, but call us Monday or Tuesday. We'll still honor the early bird pricing. Make that appointment. We'll get you in, and we'll honor that early bird pricing. But we want to make sure you get it done. We don't want you to.
So it is the beneficial owner information on an 1120S partnership or a limited liability company, whether it's this year or a previous year. If it's a previous year, you have till 12/31 of 2024 to register. If it's a new entity, then you only have 90 days from the day that you started the entity, and the maximum penalty first level is $10,000. The second level is like 6 months in jail and $200,000. It's like really important. And we are doing them for $75, right?
Yep. That's.
And I just had a client call me the other day, and he said his former accountant just charged him $500 to do it, and he said I just think that's exorbitant, and I said it's true. So, but we have a special sale. So give us a call. We'll make sure we honor that.
Right. And one other thing before we forget, and again, last week we forgot to mention this. And Kevin, I know you're out there holding, so sorry.
I know what you want to talk about.
Yep.
The bed tax.
Yeah, the Airbnbs are now getting hit with the local sales tax of 4%. So if you
nobody's talking about that.
Right. If you're renting, you're doing an Airbnb because it's summertime. The New York State, Erie County, Niagara County wants an extra 4% out of your money you're collecting to go to them.
Right.
So you got to be careful. If you're renting your house out for less than 90 days, that's considered a short-term rental, and you owe that extra 4% to the counties.
Okay, so that's a brand new tax, just what everybody wants. That's a brand new tax on people that are doing Airbnbs and short-term rentals.
And that's a New York thing. That's not a federal thing.
Right, New York. Right.
Yep.
Okay, let's go. We have Kevin.
It's our buddy Kevin from
Hey,
Pendleton.
Kev, how can we help you,
Hey,
sir?
Greg. Hey, family. Good afternoon to you. You just let
to
I
you.
fall off my chair here when you mentioned this new tax. I have to let my buddies in
There you
Niagara
go.
Falls.
Because you're up there. You're in North Tonawanda, aren't
Niagara
you?
Falls, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Pendleton, but I'm not in Niagara Falls. But hey, welcome to New York, folks.
Amen. That's for sure.
Well, keep voting the way you do, Niagara Falls. Keep voting the way you do. Anyway, hey, look, the question to you. You just this twice always fall off my chair here. FC, you mentioned that us males here, 73 point what years we have
Well,
in our.
the average life expectancy for men is 73.5 years. For women is 79.3 years. So it's an average of 78.9 years on average.
Oh man, that means some of us
So
we
you
don't have a
better
long
go
time
live.
here again.
Go live.
Far more here in the crumbling Empire State of New York. Now, have those conditions been taken into consideration? Okay. More seriously though, without being more facetious here. So I know that when people ask this question, and I know you deal with taxes and stuff, but it kind of borders a little bit on financial, prudence
Sure.
also. But so the best time to retire, as far as to get the best in your Social Security benefits is up, 67 years to get the full.
Well, okay. It's interesting because I'm going to talk about that next, but there are many people, once you reach full retirement, which in most people's cases now who were born after baby boomers would be 67 years, would mean that at that point in time they can still work and make whatever they are making and still get full Social Security. So the best time to retire is when you think that you have enough assets saved that you're able to maintain your lifestyle without working.
So doing a
Right,
budget.
right. Yeah, well, that's understandable, but right. But I was more,
But you get
concerned
full
about the.
retirement. You get full retirement at 67 years.
67. Oh,
67,
Right. But the
right.
thing you got to remember, though, Kevin, say you're retired and you're waiting to collect that extra money on your Social Security. So you could have got $2,000 a month now, but if you wait 3 years to your 67 and you could have gotten $2,600, okay, yeah, an extra $600 a month, that sounds great. But that means you just lost 24,000 times 3. You just lost $72,000 in your pocket on physical money.
holy
In other
cannoli.
words, what people do, Kevin, is they're already retired, but they don't start collecting because they think they're going to do better by waiting till full retirement. But what we're going to talk about here in a minute is you don't do better because they're
Right.
keeping your money and they don't give you the money that you didn't get. That's the bottom line.
Now, do you pay both federal and state when you reach that 67?
So,
On Social Security, you pay nothing to New York State. New York State is kind to retirees, which is very exciting. And then you might not even have to file federal, depending on all of your income.
right, but Social Security can be taxable on the federal, up to
Up
85%.
to 85%. Right.
Oh, okay. Well, I just say to you guys who.
But but Kevin, it all depends on what your other sources of income is. So if you're
course, yeah. Well,
strictly
those
on
guys,
social,
No, go ahead.
if
Sorry.
you're
Go
strictly
ahead.
on Social Security, you don't pay any federal taxes.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, I have to say to all these guys out there, if you know you're going to hit the big 67, make sure you get your financial business all put together. And if you're still single and still want to mingle, make sure you do a prenuptial before anything else.
Yeah, and then I also want to say,
Those gold diggers down here, man.
yeah, and then I also want to say, Kevin, there's a lot of people I know who want to retire early. Like there's somebody I work with, she's 61, 62, but a big determinant on retiring is your health insurance. And so a lot of people keep working because they need health insurance until the age of 65 is when you finally get Medicare. So health insurance really keeps a lot of people working.
So it's not just taxes, right? It's
Right.
the whole financial picture, and that's what we try to bring in, is that it's not just taxes. It's this and
Oh,
this
yeah.
and this and are you going to go in the donut hole, and are you going to have to pay more property taxes? Are you?
And then
do
if you're
have
looking to
health
get a young
insurance?
wife,
It's
then you're looking for
all
more headaches.
It's all related.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev,
All right,
what are you
thank
doing
you.
for the 4th of July, Kevin?
4th of July? Yeah, I might just be chilling, you know.
You're going to chill. Okay. All
Chilling,
right.
yeah.
Well, happy
Yeah, man.
4th.
All right, take it easy.
I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from
Chillin'.
EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. We got some other text here, right, Jeff?
We do. It says, are you saying, Esther, in general, Roths are bad, or is it just bad to do a conversion to a Roth?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that what you need to do is make sure that you know what you're talking about. First of all, the other day I was having dinner with a girlfriend of mine, and her son, who's got he's starting his career, and he said to his mom, I'm going to do a Roth 401k. And she said, wow, isn't he smart? He'll never have to pay taxes on this money again. So I said to her, but he's giving up the tax write-off now. And so she said, I don't understand. Well, because on a traditional IRA or 401k, now, while you're alive, when you make that contribution to that pension or IRA, then it's a tax write-off against the income that you are earning. On a Roth, there is no write-off. It just starts to accumulate tax-free, and then someday, when you're 73 or whenever you start to withdraw, it'll be completely tax-free. And that's all people can hear is it'll be tax-free. But let's look at the, genesis of the whole thing. This kid is going to be probably a blue-collar, hard-working person for his whole life, and he's going to contribute whatever he does, let's say $5,000 a year, God willing, hopefully. So he might contribute $150,000. Let's say it grows to $400,000, and that's the only pension he has. When he starts to withdraw it, and he got no benefit if he did a Roth, all those years he gave up all of his benefit. So when he starts to withdraw, based upon what I can see in tax code, using what it is right now, with that life expectancy maybe being over 30 years, when he takes the money out, $15,000, he will pay no taxes when he takes it out. So he's given up all those tax benefits when he was young, and he won't pay any taxes when he's older. I mean, when he takes the money out because of his standard deduction, if he has no other source of income. So it really depends on your individual situation. Now, if he were a teacher in a New York State school system and he was going to get a $75,000 pension, we'd be whistling a different tune, right?
Right.
Because he'd have a taxable pension on New York State, on the federal, and if he took that money out from his 403B on New York State, it would be taxable on the federal. And that would be different. If he had a Roth 403B, then it would benefit him. So it all depends on your individual situation and what your effect is based upon what is going to happen to you in your future. And you got to sit down and talk to
It
somebody about
sounds
that.
really confusing. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Definitely. You got to look at the whole picture now and later, and nobody has that crystal ball. So
Right, but the thing is, you can pretty much see
Writing
the
on the wall.
trajectory
Yeah.
that you're on.
If
I
you-
mean, I can think of another client of mine who is an attorney, and they're going to put maximum into your pension plan and all. So they're going to end up with a gigantic nest egg. So you really have people that are never going to have anybody contribute to their pension, and they're going to be on their 401k and their Social Security, God willing, and so they're probably not going to pay taxes when they take that money out. But then again, we have people that are going to have a big endowment from their employer, and that's different.
Or somebody who has a government pension.
Right. And so you have to look at each individual situation.
Yep. And there's a few callers, but there's a text. It says, I think this is based on the rent. No, you've paid for somewhere to live like you pay for something else. And so I think they're saying, of course, you have to pay somewhere.
Right, but what you're talking about with a rent receipt, rent receipt doesn't, there's no ownership there. But if you are an owner, then you have equity stake in your asset that you're buying, and so that's what makes it better. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Hey, we should take a short break for our advertisers, and we'll be right back. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on the cell phone. Text us at 716-8030930. We'll be back on the other side. You know, I love helping people. It's just not easy. It's just, there's so many moving parts. You want to make sure that you get the best you get the best information possible for you to make a decision. And what's really sad is just because it's not taxed when you're old doesn't mean that it's the best thing you can do. 'Cause
Yeah, well,
remember,
just-
you're alive now.
Yeah, before we get to the three callers, it's funny, somebody just texted in. Is there any chance the government could change the tax law and tax
Hello?
Roths in the future?
Hello.
Yeah,
I mean,
they can.
They're looking for money, kids.
They look for that in the infrastructure bill that
Right.
got voted down 2 years
Right,
ago. So
right. They're looking for money, kids. I mean, when it comes to taxes, I'm never surprised at what they're going to come up with.
Yep.
All right, who do we got?
we got Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
Hi, how are you today? Thank you
Good.
for all you guys do, first of all.
Thank you.
I have a question. We are buying new windows this year, and I want to know what we can do. How does that go for our taxes? What do we have to do?
Sure. So as long as they're the high energy efficient windows, you get a 30% credit up to $600. So which is it's nice. It's better than what it used to be. But if you could, I don't know if you got them all in or not. You may want to
We
stagger.
didn't do them yet.
Okay, you may want to stagger them. Do some this year
We're gonna do.
and some
Yep.
next year, because then you'll get $600 this year and $600 next year. So that's a $1,200 credit instead of just only a $600 credit.
Which is very smart.
That's why I want to plan it. So if I spend, it's a 30% credit. So if I spend $1,800, now how much do I have to spend? Let's say if I spend $2,000 now.
$2,000 now at 30%, that's $600.
So that's about what my goal should be for this year and next year, possibly.
Yep.
Okay. Just wanted to know what the numbers were.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling. All right, and we got somebody else.
We
holding,
got
right?
Marlon.
Hey, Marlon.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call. In 2023, I had a $57,000 loss, and my daughter filled it out on her computer, and she followed all the boxes, and it came out just the way it should. It showed a $57,000 loss, and then, of course, it only took $3,000 loss.
Right.
What do we do in 2024 to get the other $2,700 loss?
That balance is going to be carried forward on the Schedule D, and you're going to be able to take, if there's no other capital gains this year, you'll be able to take another $3,000 against your other income on your 2024.
Yeah, was it
return.
a $5,700 loss or a $57,000 loss?
Well, I don't know. I maybe said it wrong. It was $5,700.
Okay, so three.
Okay, then you're 2,700.
Yep.
So she has to fill out a Schedule D, and just
For
put
next
down
year, each year.
that it's
yes.
a $2,700 loss.
Yep, there's a line right on the Schedule D that says carry forward loss from prior years.
Oh, there is. Okay,
Yep.
I've been worrying about that all year. So So
Well,
now
I'm
you
glad you
solved my
called.
problem.
Rest easy.
Okay, thank you very
All right,
much.
thank
and thank
you.
you for your wonderful program.
Oh, well, thank you very
Bye
much.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, dear.
What
All
a
right,
pretty
we got
name.
another call? Another text?
No, they dropped, and
Okay.
there's a text that says, "Do you know any salesmen at West Her? We're looking at Acuras and Lincolns." And
Yeah, we know a lot of salespeople at West Hartford.
yeah, and so I texted him the name of the father and son duo that we used recently.
All right, so let me quickly kind of go over what I still have here. When you're working, should you do a traditional or Roth IRA? And so it was interesting. I was reading a Money Magazine article about how everybody, as soon as they hear a Roth is tax-free, they think they should jump on that bandwagon. But the truth is, if you did a Roth or you did a traditional, at the end of 30 years, they would have the same asset value. But the difference is you gave up, if you did a Roth, and in this example that they had, was $461,000 that you'd have a balance, and you saved $115,250 in taxes if you did a traditional. But when you do a Roth, you don't save that money. You're waiting for the end of your life, which you may never make, I might add, to then get the benefit when you retire. But if that's all you had, was a 401k that you contributed to, and you take out your RMD, your tax liability on this is $150.
Plus-
So you gave up $115,000 in refunds over the years to save $150 when you retired.
Plus, now they did change the rules on beneficiaries of Roths.
Right.
Now they have to take that money out within 10 years. Before they
Just
used
like
to,
everybody else.
Yep. So they want to turn it from tax-free income to you turning it into something where you're going to have to pay tax on. Whether it's investments, whether you put it in a regular CD where you're earning interest, they want money. The government wants money, so they are looking any way they can.
See, and the thing is, when you really know taxes, and you add that element to, oh my gosh, I'm never going to have to pay taxes on this money. Yeah, you're just giving up the deduction now. When I was talking to my friend the other day, I said, so your son is giving up the benefit now so that someday, 30 years from now, if it's 30 years, maybe it'd be longer, that he doesn't pay taxes, but he probably won't pay taxes anyway. I mean, and God forbid if there's going to be a United States. I mean, you know how that call goes. All right,
Yep.
we got another call, right?
We do. Hey, Joe, what do you know?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Love the show.
Thank you.
Question for you. I got two daughters that both just started working some pretty good jobs, okay? And they're in the state retirement system, and they're eligible for that state deferred compensation, okay? But they don't really have any deductions. So I'm thinking, what's the best way for somebody young starting out, to save money to, I mean, I realize you're going to have to pay tax sometime, but I mean, what's the best way what would you advise, somebody that's got the eligibility for that deferred compensation
To do it.
and whatnot? I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I'm
do
sure you
it.
know about them.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the 414H?
No, this would be probably the 403B.
Yeah, I was with that client yesterday who works for the state of New York, and I was telling him, you should do the deferred comp. But geez, now he's going to retire in 3 years. He should have started it a long time ago. So yeah, good
But
advice.
I guess this guy is saying, should his kid sign up for the deferred comp on a Roth or a taxable basis? And I have to tell you, if they're going to get a New York State pension, they may want to look at maybe 50% Roth and 50% traditional. So that would be a little bit of both.
I didn't get that. Did you get that, Chris?
Yeah, but I
mean,
definitely,
I didn't hear him
I
say
would
that.
have them definitely start saving, even if it's
For sure.
$1,000, $20 a paycheck, $40 a paycheck to go in that deferred comp, because that will grow, and every year they could add another $10 to each paycheck
Right.
going in there, and they'd be surprised how fast that will grow for them.
Right.
Yeah, but what I was wondering is do you recommend like a certain percentage, to go towards
Whatever the girls can afford. I mean, the most that they can afford is what they should set aside.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But the thing
You're
is,
right.
what do you think about like just a regular? What should they put down for just like regular deductions?
Single and zero.
Right, single zero.
With any extra taken out or no?
Well, single zero isn't like what it used to be, where you used to get 1,500 to 2,000 back doing that. Single zero now basically gets you a $100 refund.
Yeah, so that's good. You don't want them holding your money.
Exactly.
That's up for sure.
Yeah, the thing
Hey,
is,
thanks, Joe.
yeah, you guys have a good day. Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
Thank
Happy
you.
4th.
There's two texts. This is from wonderful Dan. We're having a walk-in shower installed this summer. Will we be able to deduct that on our 24 taxes? The cost is about $17,000 for the remodel. Thank you. Blessings.
The only thing that's deductible for an energy credit is energy conservation. So remodeling is not deductible.
Would this be for medical?
If it was for medical purposes, it could be then used for
After the difference of the growth of their house.
If it's medical,
Yes.
right? But if it's just a walk-in shower, home improvement, a lot of times people are misled because they hear it's a capital improvement. A capital improvement means you don't have to pay New York State sales tax on the improvement. That's all
Well,
capital improvement means.
I know, Dan, I think it is for medical, but I don't think he has enough to itemize, so I don't think it's going to make any difference, regrettably. All those ins and outs and backwards and forwards, right?
That's absolutely true.
And then another question. With a Roth retirement, though, can't you take it out any time without penalty as long as you don't touch the earnings?
Sure, and that's correct. That's correct. And so I can put money in a savings account and take it out tax-free too, right?
Right.
But you're getting no benefit for setting money into your pension plan. Your pension should be holy. It should be something that you say, I'm setting it aside for when I get old because I'm going to need it. And believe me, you are. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
All right.
Yep.
Other thing is, if you're somebody that wants to, you have a home and you want to give it to your kids and you're thinking about transferring ownership, make sure you give us a call or at least talk to your attorney. Make sure about a life estate. And the other thing is, if you are interested in doing self-directed IRAs, EG Tax can help you with that as well. And you might be able to do better than putting money into an individual retirement account. But until next week, I'm Esther Gilius, the Tax Lady, with Tiffany Fabian, Christopher Fabian. God bless you. God bless the United States. Happy 4th of July.
The previous program was paid for by EG Tax.